Guys, it's your boy CAW back at it again, and today I'm actually gonna start off with the creator wrestler lore. Starting off with my character's protege, Chase Madison, the prodigy, a former, United States champion, former tag team champion, and a former world champion of basically he's a Grand Slam champion, which is very good for him. Although, actually, now I think about it, he has the same problem as Sheamus, to where he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. That that I remember at least. But yeah, so let's start off with a bit of a bang. It all started on March 9th, 2000. Now, he was born in Concord, New Hampshire. He was born and raised there. So, the real beginning of our story starts off uh, actually his birthday of March 9th, but 2005, where Chase Madison witnessed Crimson Winter's debut. You had been watching. Well, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, man. I don't know why I said match. It's not 2005, it's 2009 on ECW. Christian was out there talking crap. This was during his heel run. So, this is in universe, by the way. Chase saw Crimson Winters jump the barricade and speared Christian out of his boots. The crowd was stunned, because Crimson Winters had been running around on Ring of Honor for like a month or so. He picked Christian up and chokeslammed. Well, it wasn't actually a chokeslam if I remember correctly. It was a double spin kick to both sides of the head, respectively. One a forward kick, the other a back kick, and Christian was out. He was out like a light. It's that simple. Now, this was when now Chase was actually live. He saw Crimson Winters jump the barricade. He had been keeping an eye on ROH a little bit here and there, but he really wasn't able to watch it as much as WWE. And then, about 5 years later, Crimson Winters had already been done. He'd been basically wrestling in the Indies. He had already been fired from WWE. Now Chase was around 15. It was in 2015. Crimson Winters wasn't in the company in WWE anymore. He was actually in Impact. And it was on this day where Crimson Winters opened his school right on the border of New Hampshire, where Chase and Crimson Winters met. Now, Crimson Winters had basically been looking for a protege. He wanted to return to WWE. That was his goal. Basically, Crimson Winters had a very Cody Rhodes-esque adventure back to WWE, minus the New Japan stint. Did Cody run around in New Japan? I think he did. And he met Chase. So he said, "Listen, kid, I want you to become my protege, and we could probably end up returning to I could probably get you in WWE along with me." Chase accepted, and the rest is history. Chase had been training for months and months and months. He didn't actually appear on WWE TV until January 1st. Well, not January 1st, January 27th of 2020. No, it wasn't 2020. I don't know why I said 2020. It was 2019. Or the Royal Rumble date that happened at that time. Chase Madison, in front of the entire crowd, appeared alongside Crimson Winters in the exact same way Crimson Winters showed up in WWE the first time around, jumping the barricade, but instead of spearing, he completely just shoulder checked, believe it or not, the champion at the time, the WWE Universal Champion at the time, Seth Rollins. Or who, actually, no, was it Seth or Brock? I can't remember. Pretty sure it was actually Brock. Doesn't matter. What matters is that Chase and Crimson Winters debuted. Now, Chase was an absolute beast at the time. He was a lot thinner than he actually is in the later games. A lot more muscular, basically jacked beyond belief. Now, basically, this was the on-screen debut. Chase went down to NXT for a short bit for the sole purpose of why not. Basically dominated NXT for a short bit with Crimson Winters as his manager. Now, these two had to get a couple people in on it. So a couple other students, Corey and, well, Speedy, well, both ended up joining them on this little adventure. And they dominated the entire company. Chase was running around basically dominating the main, two divisions, the two singles divisions for NXT. Speedy and Corey were both running around as NXT Tag Team Champions, basically running rampant on the NXT brand. And Crimson Winters went after the WWE Championship. He wanted the title he deserved to win. Because, Crimson Winters was really well liked by the fans during this time. They wanted him to become, actually WWE champion. But that never actually happened. There were plans for it, but once they were leaked, Vince was like, nope, we can't do this anymore. It was leaked. And thus, the title reign never happened. I might make a what if Crimson Winters won the WWE title in 2009, where I basically just talk about what would have happened without video, because that won't really work out. I don't have a card, a game card or whatever, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that it was on this. Alright, so yeah, you already know what happens. Chase runs rampant in NXT until the Undisputed Era show up and Imperium show up, and instead of the actual match that happened, it was a triple threat War Games match. Imperium versus Undisputed Era versus the Syndicate. Now, Chase didn't actually start off the match. Chase was the ace in the hole. Crimson Winters knew this. So, Speedy started off. Speedy was the three people to start off the match were Speedy, Walter, and Adam Cole. Baby. Damn it, dag. Now, it was at this time, Chase was basically just rip roaring ready to go. So he was the last one in. Everyone enters the ring. Everyone goes around, running around in the ring. The only three people that weren't in the match at the time were Roderick Strong, Alexander Wolf, and Chase Madison. Now, Chase came out right before Roddy Strong, but Chase wanted to make sure that Roderick Strong couldn't compete, so he grabbed Roderick Strong's arm and did an armbar through the cage to do massive damage to Roderick Strong's arm, basically taking him out. He gained that sort of aggression from Crimson Winters because this was at a time when Crimson Winters was at his most aggressive in the ring, absolutely dismantling his opponent's torso and head, uh, and maybe, depending on his mood, arms and legs. So basically everything. Now, this went on until. So, ultimately, Imperium did win the match due to actually Kyle O'Reilly taking the pin. The Syndicate, no one in the Syndicate was actually pinned. So this set up a storyline where the first Worlds Apart event took place. Or Worlds Collide event took place. You'll see why I said Worlds Apart in a minute. So, it was NXT UK versus NXT. Crimson Winters decided to make a rare NXT appearance where it was Chase Madison versus Walter. Now, Chase's style is an absolute, just all around, hard hitting, brawler, submission specialist, technician style combined, all rolled up into one. So, he's basically a mix between a brawler and a technician. This will be important in a minute. Walter, we already know his technique, which his style is hard hitting, brawling, action. Now, this was a hard hitting one. Walter was being taken to his limit. Chase was flying all over the ring until Chase went for a springboard back elbow and landed right into the jaws of the beast as Walter locked in a rear naked choke. Now this was not good. So Crimson Winters figured that this was probably not going to end well since he knows how Walter works. Him and Chase basically studied tapes. Why Chase did it, we have no idea to this day. I think it's most likely because, why not? Because, this was a really desperate maneuver. Chase usually didn't do springboards, except for a random corkscrew crossbody that he did surprisingly often. Out the ring, into the ring, over the ring. Well, not over the ring, like all the way over, but no. But what matters, he got caught in a rear naked choke. But Crimson Winter's head was distracting the ref. It was at this moment Crimson Winters was taken out on the outside by a masked assailant. Now, the next night on NXT, Chase did end up losing the match due to that rear naked choke. He got choked out. He didn't tap. Again, figured I'd specify this because that shows that he had enough heart to not tap out. So the next night on NXT, Chase is livid because Crimson Winters was injured. He lost his opportunity to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. So this was a very important match that Chase wanted. He wanted to face this masked assailant. This masked assailant was rocking a blue classic Kane mask. Well, blue and gray. This masked assailant came down to the ring. Chase was ready until the masked assailant took off his mask, revealing it to be Cody Madison, Chase's brother. Chase was stunned. He didn't expect it. And then, from completely out of nowhere, straight out of left field, an unexpected appearance showed up as well. It was actually Adam Cole's buddy, Roderick Strong. Now, this was a very interesting thing because you see, very clearly, Roderick Strong had just returned. This was like in 2020, roughly like post Rumble, so like February, before the whole everything took place. And thus, Chase ended up getting taken out. Now, Speedy and Corey were called up, and unfortunately, due to SmackDown's rules, they couldn't help. They wanted to help, they really did, but they couldn't due to the GM, who at the time was a very important person, Gabriel Slade. Now, if you play WWE 2K23, you know who Gabriel Slade is. He was basically, he'll be very important later down the line. I will let you know that now. Once I do like the like some of the other creator wrestler lore stuff, but other than that, yeah, no, that's gonna be very important. So basically, Gabriel Slade was not letting the help happen, but Crimson Winters basically was like, listen, Slade, you're the one who took my freaking ECW title away from me. You gained my respect that day. Come on, like, just let them help. It's kind of necessary. I can't help, but they can. Let them help. But since they were SmackDown Tag Team Champions, they couldn't do nothing about it. Now, this will be important in a different video. When I do the Crimson Winters lore video. So, the beatdowns continued throughout the months, until finally NXT TakeOver 30, which, if I remember correctly, was in 2020. It was one of the TakeOver events. It was definitely one of the later TakeOver events before they didn't put the TakeOver pattern in anymore. When Chase Madison and an unknown ally were to face off against Roderick Strong, who was solo. Like, this wasn't a Roderick Strong who didn't actually 100% stop what he was doing with the UE, but basically just went their separate ways. The Undisputed Era and Roderick Strong was separate now. And Cody Madison, live from the CWC. Now, it was at this moment where Chase had a few options lined up. A Johnny Gargano, who would be an absolutely perfect partner, but really wouldn't work out overall. Tommaso Ciampa's a wild card. He's not going to be 100% trustworthy, so it's probably for the best that he doesn't pick him. He didn't pick him. But I'll tell you, right when that rolls around. So, over the next couple weeks, Chase tries to find people to actually help him, and there's like, hell no, we really can't afford to, because we all have our different matches. So, TakeOver rolls around, and the person that Chase chose was Crimson Winters. Now, Crimson Winters had been injured for a hot minute due to the attack at Worlds Collide. Versus Roderick Strong and Cody Madison. Chase couldn't really do much against his brother because his brother was even stronger than him. So, Crimson Winters was basically flying all over the ring doing that oh so infamous corkscrew crossbody. But it was at this moment in this match, where Crimson Winters debuted a new move, the Chaos Continuum, a rolling cutter basically similar to the Reckoning. Now, this didn't win the match because Roderick Strong was there to make the save. But there was another move that Crimson Winters debuted in the form of the DNA Bomb, which is like that Cyclone Bomb move in 2K23. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you do, because if so, that just doesn't really make any sense. But he named it the DNA Bomb in reference to Advanced Warfare it was basically the nuke power-up name in Advanced Warfare Zombies. So, it was ultimately the final cut from Crimson Winters that couldn't get the job done. Crimson Winters was busting out moves he hasn't busted out in years. The Bear Claw Powerbomb off the top rope, which basically was like a one-handed powerbomb with his opponent on the top rope, him on the floor, throwing them down. It took the tag team finisher to actually take out Roderick Strong. Cody didn't get pinned. It was a Burning Hammer knee drop combo. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here are your winners. The Syndicate. Chase looked like he just went through one of the toughest things in his life. So Chase didn't appear on NXT TV for a little bit. This would be the last time we would see Chase in NXT. Crimson Winters gets fired, leaves the company. Chase, Speedy, and Corey all walk out of the company. They don't actually go to AEW or any other company. They just sit and bide their time until the Royal Rumble of 2021. Now, in this universe, there was a tag team Royal Rumble and a mid-cut and a Royal Rumble where there was 3 Royal Rumbles besides not counting the women's Rumble. The tag team Royal Rumble and the mid-card title Royal Rumble, where you can pick between any mid-card title on any brand, including NXT. Now, this also goes for the tag team Rumble and the other Rumbles, like the main 2 Rumbles that are actually in real life. Now this is a universe where Rona ended early, so this was live at Gillette Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, Gillette Stadium is in Massachusetts, so it was wherever Gillette is actually placed. I'm pretty sure it's in Boston. Tag Team Royal Rumble. Speedy and Corey returned to a thunderous reaction since Speedy and Corey are from Salem, hometown boys. Men's Royal Rumble, which opened the show actually. Then the Tag Rumble, then the other matches, then the Women's Rumble, and the main event was actually the Mid-Card Rumble. Crimson Winters obviously returned in the main Rumble and won, winning the Royal Rumble match for the very first time in his career. Speedy and Corey won the Rumbles, but the crowd wasn't sure whether or not Chase was going to return. He looked a bit too distraught to actually return last they saw him. But entrant number 30 rolls around, and the lights go out. The lights turn back onto the arena, but everything is a greenish, nasty-ish coloration in the lighting. Everyone looks to the entrance ramp, or the entrance, or the entranceway. And from a sort of like platform that rises up, think Undertaker's WrestleMania 28 entrance. or 25 entrants. It was either 25 or 26. Doesn't matter. What matters is that it's something similar to that. Chase rises up in war paint. Not like war paint like the Viking Raiders war paint. War paint as in similar to the Demon's war paint. Or the Demon Finn Balor's paint. The Demon was in the ring, by the way. He was absolutely dominating the Rumble from number 1. Now, the coloration for it was very different. And he had, strangely enough, wings on his back. Like, obviously, these were fake wings, but they were wings nonetheless. It was at this very moment, in front of the entire world, where Chase Madison, the Archangel Chase Madison, debuted. Now, this was a demon-esque character, basically the antithesis to the demon, where the Archangel Chase Madison basically destroyed multiple opponents in the Rumble until it was just him and the demon. These two squared off at an absolute war, but ultimately Chase threw Finn Balor over the top rope with Finn's feet hitting the floor. The Archangel had won. Now, next night on Monday Night Raw, Chase said, listen, I'll let you know who I'm going to be tagging 1 week before WrestleMania, which took place in New Hampshire. It was at a very arena. It wasn't really quite big. It wasn't really that big of an arena, but it was an arena. This arena, well, there was more a stadium, was where this match was going to take place. Now, believe it or not, this match was a very, very, very simple go home show on Friday Night SmackDown. Chase had come close to actually appearing in the Elimination Chamber, where he could have become a double champion, which was for the Universal Championship with the Fiend, Seth, Randy Orton, John Cena, and AJ Styles. But unfortunately, believe it or not, Buddy Murphy ended up beating Chase due to last second roll up. Chase had him dead to rights, but Chase wasn't going to dwell on that. He needed the second title. He wanted the United States Championship. This was where the U.S. title was won by Chase for the first time. Chase is a 5-time U.S. champ, 2-time world champion. Well, WWE Universal, respectfully, 1 time each, so 2-time world champion, and a 3-time. Now they had and a 3-time tag team champion. Now, obviously, title lost, run around with the tag titles for a month. Titles lost. When basically this alternated throughout the month. He only had a month reign with each title, respectfully, except for the World and Universal title, where he basically had a 2-3 month title reign. Now in 2K22. They had taken a hiatus until eventually they appeared once again, not in the Royal Rumble, but at Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, Wait, no, that was in 2022. Never mind. The Elimination Chamber in Canada, where they appeared right after the Roman Reigns vs. Sami Zayn match. Now, this was what things were gonna pick up, because you see, this was a different Roman Reigns than the Roman Reigns that Crimson Winters made tap out. Yes, this was the only tap out loss in Roman Reigns' career, and it was taken in that single reign of undefeatedness when it came to not giving up and not tapping out was taken away by Crimson Winters. Now, this was a big moment. This really wasn't expected at all. So this was a big moment for the Syndicate to return versus the Bloodline. Crimson Winters versus Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. Corey and Speedy versus Jimmy and Jay. And then finally, Chase Madison versus Solo Sikoa for the WWE Intercontinental title. This Universe Solo won the Intercontinental title. Now, this doesn't mean that Sammy and Kevin didn't actually have their big match. They did win that match. It was a triple threat match. No, never mind. Listen, that's basically all caught up. So, what did you think of this type of video? This is a long one. This is going to take a while for me to do. But that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Like, comment, share, all that mess. You already know what to do. Peace.